So let's say that we're working with a hotel. This hotel wants to improve guest satisfaction. Let's say that's something they've thought about. Maybe they're looking at occupancy rate. Maybe they're looking at revenue per room. There's a lot of different ways they could really attack the business. Maybe they're looking for increasing the amount of conferences, different things. We won't push them in a particular strategic direction, but we will have them sort of decide on where all things are important. Where's the majority of that energy it's going to go? Now, in a non-4DX approach, they might say, let's say that the choice is guest satisfaction. In a non-4DX approach, you might get 12 really smart people in a room, and they might brainstorm for a day, and they might decide, okay, let's renovate that front lobby. Let's get some training in here for people on customer intimacy, and we need new cooking surfaces for our kitchens, and they'll start just mandating changes in various things, and those changes may or may not have much of an impact. We actually worked with one of our hotels that had just had a $30 million renovation to their lobby, and they didn't see a single point movement in guest satisfaction after they spent $30 million. But the organization as a whole, just because a handful of leaders decided to push a priority, that whole organization is just doing what it did every single day. Versus a 4DX approach, where they say, okay, if the big WIG is guest satisfaction, what are the fewest battles to winning that? This is something I've done personally with hotels before. Maybe they say one battle is arrival experience. We don't know how yet, but we want to move arrival experience from 68 to 80. One of ours is food and beverage quality, because our restaurants are a little pricey. And if we don't have great food, we're not going to get a good review. One of our battles is event satisfaction. So they take it down, and then the frontline teams start to choose. So they ask each frontline team, so the bell stand, what's your wildly important goal? And the bell stand says, okay, we want to reduce, it always comes down to operation issues. We want to reduce how long it takes us to get the luggage to the, so right now it's taking us an hour and 10 minutes to get the bags to the room. We're blowing your arrival experience score. We think we can get that down under 20 minutes. They're showing. You still have other things they're showing. Okay, what about front desk? What's their operational score? Each team's got to own something very specific. Can't be conceptual. It has to be a specific target. And maybe 5 of the teams are all aimed at arrival experience, and another 5 teams are all aimed at event satisfaction. And the 3 restaurants are all aimed at food and beverage quality. But now think about how that's different from our first example. In our first example, we have a handful of people wielding the pen, right, making decisions that never really gets embraced in the organization. Here, we've got maybe a dozen different teams. Now they've got scoreboard. Now they've got lead measures. Now they're tracking it. Each team is intimately involved in one objective that leads to the outcome. So instead of just a handful of decisions and then directing the organization, which is so typical, that's what I would do if I gone through this process. Instead of activating all the frontline teams to take on one challenge in addition to their day job. And then what we saw was there's this, if you get it right, there's this jump in engaged morale that was very unexpected by us. We did not know that was going to